Sarji Chudan Chonji Chonala Chancho Pardo Dane Chapsan Dagi Jinso Jibe Chonanji Androla Pension Sarji Andrepajo Sarji Chudan Choni Chona La Chancho Panda Dane Shabsan Dagi Jinso Jimbe Chona Rola Pension Sanji Andrepajo Sanji Chudan Choni Chona La Chancho Pardo Dane Shabsan Dagi Jinso Jimbe Chonanji Androla Pension Sanji Andrepajo Anam Gadon Yambe Semche Thamche Dewa no Devi Juda Dember Kurji Semche Thamche Dungar no Dungar Juda Charvar Kurji Semche Thamche Nyera Chadan Nida Charve Tanyo Chame Phala Nibar Hurdan Khandro Mambu Keji Jesus Dandranji Shinji Lobje Shesa Guru Pema Sandi Sheome Chunyi Yanji Pobjana Tuso Sanji Kunji Ngoni Rasa Churku Tonja Pe Savi Lama Namla So Ande Saje Puju Shujan Medo Dram Shira Limje Nirdi Jimba Sarji Jande Amide Poa Drogo Namda Janla Shumbar Shum Eda Rana Mandala Kamdara Dhaya Mu Semje Namje Samba Loye Sebra Chirta Checho Themo Thamba Chuji Korlo Kordu So Tamgi Duji Shajiri Sano Janji Madhaji Honjumba Sejil Hamba Dawaji Shanti Jarbu Shavla Kujan Tsar Gumbol Jawaria Newanda Tome Nyam Sholan Chuji Da Chujun Shahawa Shilas Zamlin Gencho Namla Kushan Tsar Zamlan Zibi Janjun Chonyi Da Tuji Lorton Yambin Tamaya Natru Tambar Vipeter Shuji Kondi Shukur Dobin Honshin Chimi Wuzir Savla Kushan Tsar Shibshagun Chindola Gypsy De Chimi Wuzir Yamcher Tuktirindu Wasar Non Chenam Kenam Jurb Jingme Limbi Savla Kushan Tsar Mari Sangin Cheranyang La Cher Kundo Zambu Molam Number Jan Sibji Jarin Tenlin Zinzam Mephem Jamchu Shavla Kushan Tsar Pame Duksi Durjib Dunjumji Turbina Rolira La Bikar Matu Londarik Bi Kharjibjit Jingme Pinso Shavla Kushan Tsar Kamsung Korwa Ton Tunum Jimbi Sabjelam Yonden Tarshenba Nilu Rajar Tumbi Nanjun Yeshi Wamchu Shavla Kushan Tsar Kunzan Dursim Garab Shirasan Pema Kara Jimban Yushunga Sozar Namnya Tertun Jarsas Katiri Lama Namla Kushan Tsar Kanda Shoshu Tongunji Tena Desalumar Jirwa Kansata Andar Tumbi Shuji Shenbe Simbarando Bateda Thamche Darsha Si Namo Arya Tambal Hai Kedan Ladan Dojinke Chum Dadan Mi Kenam Dan Roa Kunji Jarkeshizam Thamche Keda Chujan Tujurji. It's nice. Okay. That's a Tibetan monk song. All right. So now we're going to prayer on English on the generation Bodhicitta on the, I think, second page. Is it there? One verse, only 3 times prayer. Compassion, loving kindness, joy, great equanimity prayer. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all beings live in great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that kept some close and the other distant. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all beings live in great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that kept some close and the other distant. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all beings live in great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that kept some close and the other distant. Okay, good evening. Welcome everybody. This is my first lectures in this visit in Malta. So this year is my second time visit in Malta, as you know. Most maybe people you know already. So we're going to teaching this my visit 3 days evening. So today we are going talking about the title, the subject is Union of Wisdom and Compassion. That is our topic. As you know, I think all the sentient beings, same like us, the wish is as one to be happiness and enjoyment. Nobody want to be experiencing sufferings and unpleasant feelings. There's no exceptions, not only human beings, but all sentient beings. Some sentient beings actually means is with consciousness, without consciousness. The things with consciousness or with mind, that is we say sentient being. And without mind or without consciousness, that is materiality, something as a normal, regular things, but not sentient being. So we are, of course, one part of the sentient being. So sentient beings' number is, actually we cannot counting. According to the Buddhist philosophy, point of the number sentient beings are existent countlessly. So the countless sentient beings can division into 2 groups. One is the lower unfortunate realm. One is upper of fortune realm beings. But we are in the moment in the fortune of upper realm. which is the human being, human realm. So we are lucky. We are really fortunately at the moment is because freedom from the sufferings and the obstacles, unfortunate lower realm. We are more as a fortune, happy life, long life, healthy life, and more intelligent, more clever, smart, or human brain or human mind is more smart. So therefore, we are really fortunate, beings among this world. So therefore, firstly, you should be to recognize how we are fortunate, one, how this precious human birth is as wonderful. It's not easy to found this precious human birth, but we finally is needed cause, actual cause, and the conditions completely. So therefore, today we are having this opportunity, fully repent result of the human birth or human body. But unfortunately, this human life is also including one of the compounded phenomena. So therefore, the compounded phenomena are nature is impermanence, because originated by the interdependently. So therefore, our life is nature is impermanent. So we never know when comes the obstacles, the actual cause of death, and the ills and the sickness. So however, that's the nature of this life. So anyway, however, as long as we are remaining in this world, we should be to know how responsibility to go and taking care about yourself and how we responsibility to go and taking care of other sentient beings. As mentioned to you, because everybody want to become happiness and enjoyment, nobody want to be experiencing sufferings. Therefore, we should be to know. As you know, in this world, in human realm, some beings of the human group, the beings, they are traditional followers. Some group of the human beings are totally non-traditional followers. Among the of traditional also is they have having many different traditions or different religions, and different cultures, and different of the systems or different habitual, systems or so on. But rather, it doesn't matter you are traditional or non-traditional followers. Rather, it doesn't matter you are religious or non-religious. And of course, particularly, it doesn't matter 100% sure, doesn't matter you are Buddhist or non-Buddhist tradition followers. Because the reason we are born naturally without any traditions, without any cultures, without any habitual tendencies, just born as like naturally from our mother's womb comes without any tradition, without any cultures, without any educations, even at the very beginning, even though without any different language, right? Everybody is the first time we born in this world is the same language, one language or same language. What is our language? Anybody knows? When we just mothers giving birth, what is the same language? That is. That's only one language, comes. So there's no difference, is it? And then later after it start to grow up, then it comes look something round of people or parents, brothers, sisters, members of families, or something slowly grow up. Then, that I should do, that shouldn't do, or that I can do, or that I cannot do, or that must be follow my family, the culture, or that must be follow my tradition, or something. Many, the different kind of precepts start, as a progress, but that not bring from mother's womb, totally not, So what is born naturally is with us. Of course, on top of the physically, I'm saying, wisdom, the primordial pure wisdom, primordial pure compassion. These two is at the seed, in the nature of our mind. There's no difference. Everybody's and the nature, the essence of mind, nature essence is as primordially pure wisdom and compassion or love. That is the seed, nature of our mind. So this is the same. So in this way, we should be to know how to has to be progress, the power of our seed wisdom and the seed of compassion, because these two is as the main method for future. How to can responsibility to be benefit yourself and other sentient beings. How you can take good care about yourself and about to others. Very much depend to our wisdom and compassion. And lacking these two totally, or one of these two, and then we have less hope. More problems and more obstacles comes to us. So therefore, I want to say first, what is the basics of our self or oneself? What is the self of the person's based on? There's two things we can division into in this born nature. One is external physical body. One is internal mental body. We having two bodies. Naturally, when born from mother's womb, as we bring, as one is physically, and when one is mentally, mental body and physically physical body. These two is just born nature. So first we should be to know we have these two with body and mind. So this very clear 100%, we no need to doubt, am I have really physical body or not? Also, we don't need to, as a doubt, am I have with mental body or not? Because you see, if in case, for example, there are only physically existent someone, but there's no existent mentally, means there's no mind, no conception, no thought, no perception, no recognition, no consciousness, only is physically there, existent materiality, and that is not person. That's not living person, very clear. Probably we can say that is a dead body, dead body, corpse. That's very clear, right? And then, if in case someone existent there without physically, there's no physical body, no the tangible form, only is mentally, with the perception, with the recognition, with the thought, with the mind or with the consciousness alone, mental body, then what do you think? That beings are not still human being, cannot be. Maybe probably that is kind of like ghost or demons, or maybe something is nagas, or maybe it's some formless beings, ghost, but that's not human being. That's very clear. Then is someone is with both together existent body interdependently, external physical body, very life, freshness, and internal, the mental body, the consciousness, the thought, perception, the recognitions clearly. And that is, we say, oh, there is one person. There is one living being, existent. We can say, oh, there is one man or woman, one person there. So this is very clear. So therefore, our external physical body and internal mental body, these two is the basics of a person. Missing one of these, that is not living person. That's very clear. Are you agree? Yes. I think most people you agree. I see, Some exceptions, maybe that doesn't say any, maybe I don't know. But so most people you can feel that's true. So therefore, now we need to responsibility to go and take care about both external or physically and internal mentally. But physically, I'm sure everybody we doing, something is what is since we born after mother's birth. First, very beginning, we don't know how to taking care about your physical, the hygiene of your physically. We don't know, but our parents taking care of us, what is good, what is not good, and then we are start to grow up, then we oneself also, what good food for us, what good drink for us, what wearing the smooth cloth or beautiful cloth, or what is, every day, every week, each month, year, we're going taking care about our body, For example, is make clean. It's important because the hygiene, physical hygiene is very important. So we're going as almost every day as bath, bath, washing, and the shower, taking shower of body is important, make clean, isn't it? We going to clean, And then sometimes you go to check up in the hospital or doctor or check my body is okay, is they have any is going wrong or not, right? That means is we going taking responsibility to going care about our physically, right? Because the reason we want to be happy, enjoyment. The reason because we doesn't want to experiencing sufferings, unpleasant feelings. Therefore, we want to become healthy person, become health. This is the hygiene of physical hygiene is important for us. So, similarly, the mental body also we should not forget, how to go and care. Same, you should be to know how to going care of your mental body, how feed to your mental body, how to make clean or cleanness or cleaning to your body, how make shower of your mental body, Have you any idea to check your mental body, how every day, like physically you do every day, right? We're going to care carefully, my body. But would you also thinking every day, my mind, my mentally, what I should do, my mind, what is good, what is not good for my mind, That I'm saying hygiene, the mental hygiene. Same physical hygiene, important, but it's also mental hygiene is more important. I mean, physical healthy is very important. We're going to responsibility care, but as a mental healthy is more important than physical healthy. So therefore, every day, every week, each month, each year, we need to check up, mentally. You having something start to problem, or already you had something is mental sick, mental ill, mental depression, or so on. It's very important to clearly distinguish, so any kind of some problems already existent with your body and mind, or yet not, but a start will be, coming. So in this case, the psychology, therapy method to training one's own mind or to clean has to be the cleaning. How cleaning make cleaning one's own mind, or how washing, or how a shower, mental body. It's the mental, the psychology therapy is the method. So what means is mental psychology therapy? I'm sure it's a different culture and different traditions and different idea. But today we are going talking about two aspects. Main method for training or for taking care or for responsibility or for feed the mental body or for taking of the hygiene of mental, wisdom and compassion. These two, wisdom and compassion. So first, I want to little bit share to know how important the compassion. Compassion or loving kindness is the same point meaning and different word, little bit different aspect of the word, but meaning is point the same. Compassion and love. So this means is as a wish, to be freedom from suffering, better compassion, and better loving kindness power is as a wish to be achievement, happiness, enjoyment, and wish to be never the separation from happiness, enjoyment. So this kind is meaning is we say compassion and love. That's the first one, the compassion, love. But actually, naturally we have self-cherishing is very much strong. Self-cherishing. Self-cherishing is born from self-grasping, self-ego, ego clinging, oneself, me, I, So I want, I need, the best one, the best things for me, because we have self-grasping, self-cherishing. But doesn't mean that's bad, because we need to go and care about yourself. Sure, you should be care yourself. Therefore, but we should be to know how going care yourself. How are you going to responsibility yourself? Do not forget, our happiness, our enjoyment depend to the others' happiness and the other enjoyment situations. Our goodness is also very much dependent to the others' goodness or the happiness, enjoyment qualities. So therefore, we also need to has to be cherishing to others at the same time, simultaneously on top of the self-cherishing. Otherwise, around other people, if we, with angry, jealousy, hatred, or something negative emotion, harmful thought, harming mind, or with something aversion mind, or something like such kind of all the emotions, we say negative emotion. That's a negative emotion. Because these emotions hurt or harming our heart. Directly, we can harming one's own heart, but indirectly, we can also will be harming to others' heart, such negative emotions. So this is very clear. For example, angry with somebody, jealousy with somebody. Then how is your feel? How is our feeling during the moments when you're very angry with somebody deeply from your heart? Very strong harmful thought or harming mind arising deeply from your heart. Very strong jealousy arising from deeply your heart with somebody. At that moment, are you comfortable? Relaxation feeling? Is a restness feeling? No. Totally no. It's very obstructed, very much. Very distracted, very much, Very upset, very much. Almost we cannot, feel any of the goodness things around you are not pleasant anymore. Everything, even in fact, nature is apparent is pleasant, but transformed into unpleasant object when disrupted our heart, such of negative emotions. At that moment, even we cannot testing or no more delicious food as not any more delicious. When you're very angry, very jealous, that times you cannot testing your delicious food. When we're very angry, upset, and jealousy, at that times even we cannot feel around or pleasant. Normal people is not anymore for us kindness or pleasant. It looks like almost enemy. Everybody's somebody talking, somebody touching, somebody looking. That's very something. It's strange, to us. That means is negative emotion is like that. They bring many obstacles and will be bring many uncomfortable feelings. Will be bring very unrelaxationness feelings, so on sadness feelings, uncomfortable feeling. This means is mind is become dirty. Our mind is unclean, very uncleanness. Mind is become. We need therefore going to show how make clean our mind, like our house. Our mind is like a house. Our thought is like things inside a house, So therefore, not enough just you building one house, but you need to take care every week, every day, make clean everything's very straight. Where is you need bed, red place, and where is red place, make the char. Where is red place or kitchen? Where is red place? Everything's. But if you throw everywhere, whatever it comes, and then is your house is even looks as a building very high, big, but it's not nice, right? Uncomfortable very much. That's why we every day to each week is going very responsibly to make clean your house. Everything's make on the right, and sweeping, clean. Similarly, our mind is like a house, And our thought is like things, So therefore, we born naturally with a mind, but we need to take care. Should be to know how to clean your heart, your mind. Because as a mind is distorted, I mentioned you negative emotion, desire, anger, ignorant, jealousy, hatred, harmful thought, harming mind, pride, arrogance, miserliness, mind, selfishness, or greedy, despontedness, so many, things makes, if you doesn't care, week, month, years, if you have no idea how to make clean one's mind, and then your mind is become very dirty, like murky water. Shaking, murky water is always there's mud, you cannot see clean the water. But our nature mind, as I mentioned, you born nature is very pure. Mind is very clean. Like mineral water. Mineral water like very pure. Just you born naturally, you have no jealousy. You have no aversion mind to other people's. You have no angry with other people's. When we born just, when you let be hungry, I'm sure then cry, And then mom give them some milk or some small food, and then it's relaxed, So no jealousy, no angry, no aversion mind, no attachment, so on. That is our nature. It's like mineral water. Mineral water like very pure. And then, as mentioned, when you grow up and then follow many different traditions, different cultures, different politicians, so on, many business, different classes, and then make your mind is become mud, dirty. It's a murky water, like as a mind is become. And then sickness, illness comes, mentally and physically. Physical sick, as you know, in the medical science, say immune system. We need to protect. We need to keep the power, energy of immune system. But if you too much, your heart, your mind is distracted, such of excess of the experiencing of delusions, afflictive emotions, disturbing emotion, mind too strong, and long term, over and over, day by day, week by week, month by month, and then this disrupt your energy power of the immune system. Have no power, very weak the power of the immune system, the protection. And then easily you can catch the disease, the illness, the sickness easily. Also easily, quickly getting old, age. Quickly comes more, there was wrinkles. And gray, quickly, your hairs, so on. We are always looking in the mirror on what is good or something, doing so many things, but this doesn't work so much, Only painting a few minutes, a few hours, but that's just skin outside, right? But the wrinkle is coming. So therefore, it's mentally, if you can relax and restness or something is with more positive emotions, and then your immune system power is more strong. And then naturally, is your hygiene, physical hygiene, the health is going very well. That's very clear. So the healthy, the most of the peaceful people, compassionate person, kindness person, positive emotionate persons, is a health is more well. Very is wrathful or something is the negativities is have less chance to healthy because the immune system they destroy. The nerves or functions as they disturb. So this is because our body and mind is this. We will maybe the third day we will talk with the evenings the relationships of body and mind. We're not going today as talking. Today is a more public way. But however, is our energy and our the mind and our essence, the drops and our channels, the system of body. This all is existent interdependently, each other, dependent to each other. So therefore, if you disrupted your heart, your mind, and disturbing of the channels, energies, the essence, the drops of your body. And then the channels, energies, the drops, disturbing and upset, and then that means it's the hygiene problem, hygiene of your physical healthy problem. You get sick, ill, and getting old easily, quickly.
So therefore, we need to be exercised physically and mentally. We say yoga. Hindu language, yoga, but it's famous. This is a well-known word for everybody on this world, yoga. But most, I'm sure, yoga, we're talking yoga that times is around over 80% people understand yoga is physical exercise. But not only, also mental yoga is very important, both physical yoga and mental yoga exercise. Our body need to become flexible and principle achievement and plans. But similarly, we also need to be make flexible your mental body. We must be to be achievement the experiencing of the feeling comfortable, of blissness feeling, enjoyment feeling of mental plans, and on top, of course, physical plans. We have to be know how could we can achievement the experiencing of physical plans and mental plans. These two is important for us, So that means as we should be to know how to make clean your heart, your mind. You don't say, I wish, you don't say, I don't care my mind, I only going to care my body, physical body. And then we have many problems. So therefore, how we should to know to go and care about our physical and mentally, that is the depend to the wisdom. Wisdom can be there's two. One is pure wisdom, extraordinaries, and one is impure or ordinary wisdom. Or maybe we can say pure wisdom, impure wisdom. Impure wisdom actually, unfortunately, is born from following wrong reason and wrong logic, and is performing in the wrong view. It's a mistake, misconception, misunderstanding. That is the opposite of the pure was a wisdom. Because many problems of your family problem, your village problem, our town, city, country, world problems, very beginning is started from of the ignorant, misconception, misunderstanding. 100% sure the root of the world problem of family, sense of a family problem and up to of world problems started from the ignorant. That's very clear, ignoranting, So that means it's lacking wisdom, not enough the pure wisdom to understand which is a necessary engagement activities for benefit sentient beings, each others, which is a necessary abandonment actions for harming to each others. So it's lacking the wisdom, and then we couldn't know, hard to distinguish, which is adopt object of knowledge, which is rejecting object of knowledge. This is confusing for us, It's the problem. So that's why we say wisdom is at the antidote to the ignorant, because the ignorant is the root of delusions, afflictive emotion or delusions. The obscuration delusion is as the cause and the conditions of wrong action, negative action, cheating each other, stealing to each other, beating to each other, abusing each other, compelling to each other, so many, the jealousy to each other, so many harming to each others, using, forcefully to each others, so many different, the problems in the world, world problem. Actually, I mentioned you before, human mind is clever, intelligent, we say, among this world. The human birth is most precious among this world, we say. But unfortunately, sometimes if we misuse this precious human body, if this precious human mind, if we use in the wrong way, misuse, and then it's big problem, better from the human being. Since family problem and up to of the world problems is started from the misuse of a human's heart, human's mind. It's very clear. Like First World War, Second World War, its very beginning is start as from few people's misunderstanding or misconception mind or the ignorant. Very clear. And finally, this misconception mind, ignorant, multiply, performing in negative actions shooting each other, killing each other, warring, and millions of people dead, and killed, and millions of people injured, This is the problem. So everybody, we're talking so many ways, worry about the world changes, temperature changes, the economy, system changes. But all the root is from human being. The root is the human mind, the wrong mind, the ignorant. So therefore, if we need to be responsibility, go and care about the environment, the world, any of the things, not only human beings, not only sentient beings, but we need to go and care about the earth, the plants, the weather, the temperature, the economy. Everything is first is we should be to know is how to avoid the ignorant. Better pure wisdom. So pure wisdom only can born or progress from pure logic and pure reasoning. Has to be follow the perfect logic and perfect reasoning, and use one's own excellent investigations, analytical to analysis. There's no border, and there's no difference of traditions, so equally. And on top of this wisdom, when you understand what is should need to do, what is should not do, and then important is the motivation, which means is compassion, love. So these two, wisdom and the compassion, is actually this is the secular ethic. So there's no something special, only traditions or only non-traditions. As mentioned to you, doesn't matter you are traditional or non-traditional, but we need to generate our compassion, our wisdom. But these two, wisdom and compassion, will bring our future hope, our future peace, our future enjoyment. Sense of family peace up to of the world peace is depend to we can responsibility develop our inner wisdom, peaceful wisdom, and the compassion. That is, if lack compassion, worse and worse, the compassion love is worse and worse, mind is become more and more distracted with desire, anger, jealousy, hatred, harmful thoughts, something too much, and then it's become crazy. Almost mind is become mad. That is why it's depression, mental sickness, mental illness, mental fogginess, mental dullness, ignorance, so many mental delusion, physical, the mental afflictive emotion, so many problems comes to us, especially in this century, 21st century. Actually, is the development stage, external materiality, civilizations quite good enough. But I'm sure that many people say, no, you say it's good enough, but not enough. That means is from the root is attachment, desire. We should be to know how to be how to be contentment of the development state of the object, or desirable object. Because what is rich, what is poor, as mentioned many times over and over. Because people believe as a rich man is the external economy is very high. That must be the point meaning rich, But that is not the point of rich. The ultimate rich is from internal, your mental spiritual qualities, like compassion, wisdom. Your heart is full of compassion and wisdom. I'm sure that is the rich person. That is a rich family. That is a rich, become rich country or so on. The education, mentor, the spiritual quality. That means is because if your heart is full with compassion and wisdom, and then is whatever comes to you, and whenever you go, remain, and doesn't matter, you feel naturally is comfortable. Naturally, you can relate it to for everybody. Naturally, you can very friendly to close to everybody. You enough let it be a small object of desire. Small attachment object is enough for you. You feel, okay, that is enough for me. I'm one person. I have one body. So therefore, it's for 40 years, 60 years on this world, I don't become crazy, Let's make let it be, I want to relax and restness. And I want to share my goodness, my happiness, my enjoyment to other people, because it's interdependently comes the peace, So therefore, this person is the reach. Actually, it's the ultimate reach is that. Otherwise, if we're lacking compassion and wisdom, and even though external or physically is very high, the reach, but still is problems, sufferings there. This is very clear. So in this case, we should be to know how to balance the two development, the elevated positions of external of materiality and internal of mentality. These two qualities has to be balanced. Missing one development state qualities and then some problem. If external materiality is not good enough, and then sure, your physical, the pains from physically, problems, suffering, sorrow, something you're sick, ill, or something hungry or thirsty, or too cold, too hot, or so on, it's a physical problem. And then even though external development state economy is quite good enough, but if we're missing the mental spiritual qualities such as wisdom and compassion, then again another pains. The different pains comes from not physically, but pains mainly comes from the mentally. And then people jumping and suicide or so on, but that's not a good idea. So therefore, important, we need to share each other. Someone who knows more external materiality scientist, or the medical scientist, the medical science and the materiality science, they know more how to go and care physically, But many traditions, as the mentor psychology therapy traditions, they know more, so how to go and care of mental body or mental sick, mental ill. Therefore, we need to share each other, but interdependently, from external materiality science and internal mental science, mentality science. These two, if they're meeting or they're shaking, or they're interdependently sharing to each other together, then there's family peace, world peace. It's very hope. Is possibility. So therefore, even this 21st century, is the mental spiritual qualities more important than in the former time, in the ancient time. This is very clear. So we need this kind of wisdom and this kind of compassion. We need to talk more. We need to thinking more. We need to sharing to more for everybody. That is not we're talking traditions only. We're not talking about religious only. We're not talking Buddhist only. Not. We're talking what is the actual we need it. That is we're talking, So especially our responsibilities we need to share to our future young generation. Young generation is the seed of our hope of future. Young generation, So therefore it's lucky now during the couple years, or the 20 years, or as the past of 20 years or 30 years, it's Western very medical scientists or the medical doctors, science and materiality and the mentality science of Buddhist philosophy, they are meeting together many times, 3 times a year. Is in Dharamsala, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, leading about these connections to come, sharing about physically and neuron system and the nervous system or something materiality, what is we need to make the hygiene of physically, what we need should do, what we shouldn't do. And the mentally also, can help, like the mind training and the meditations, the practices, or the developing mental spiritual qualities, can change your physical, so the problems, so on. So this now is a start, good science, as past several years, start to come in this lecture with a beyond of religious, or we can say as a secular ethic, something this kind is start to coming in, as the lecture or in the school. Start from for example, Emory, the American ones, the school there also comes. In India, no good sign is something is international where they're talking about this kind, not religious talk, because this we need. Doesn't mean I'm saying that's not religious, not religious, because some people are thinking, oh, religious is that's maybe it's make confusing, make headache, so I'm not religious, so I'm non-religious, I don't need this is not for me. Okay, fine. Then you don't need to, you have become religious. You don't need to become traditionalists. You have not become, have to, and Buddhist, so on, But you should be to know how important compassion and wisdom. That is what we needed, So compassion and wisdom knowledge is undeceptive object of knowledge. Better pure compassion and better pure wisdom will never deceiving us. Will never deceiving us. By compassion and by wisdom will never cheating you. Will never cheating you. It's not possible. Ours will be bring us goodness, happiness, enjoyment, peaceful relations, harmonies. By the pure wisdom, I mean by the pure compassion, that is. If lacking one of these two, for example, if you are a very intelligent person, smart, clever, but totally lack compassion and love, then what do you think? Very, very danger. This person is very, very danger. He or she is very smart, clever, intelligent, but totally lack pure motivation, totally lack compassion, totally lack of the loving kindness, then very danger. This person can destroy the world. Could be, it's a danger, isn't it? Only wisdom, but it's lack compassion. Then this wisdom cannot become pure. This wisdom become, unfortunately, falling extremes of wrong view, because it lack compassion. And then other hand, we say only someone is very pure heart, is a compassion and love very much. They want to attitude benefit to each others. They want to benefit to each others. Want to wish hope, peace, harmony, so on. But unfortunately, totally lacking of the wisdom, means is ignorant, he or her mind totally, again, cannot work. Because he or she doesn't know what should do, what shouldn't do, because ignorant. Sometimes they misdeed, Even they want to benefit you, but it's harming sometimes, unfortunately, because lack the wisdom. This is the problem. So therefore, now what we should need to do? Only the way, these two, we need to fund. We need to has to be developed compassion and wisdom. There's no problem, nobody, if your heart is become wisdom and compassion. Not only no problem, but it can benefit yourself and can benefit others. Everybody, we can relax and rest with this person. Somebody's heart is a pure compassion and pure wisdom. Always, we no need police. We no need bodyguard, for example. We no need special protection. Because our wisdom, our compassion is the actual, authentic, perfect police. Police. They take care of us. The compassion and wisdom police going care of everybody. Even your thousands of dollars just live in the street without any lock. Nobody stole, because everybody in case, I'm saying, full compassion and full wisdom. Then there's no need protection, no need police, for example. Otherwise, is lack compassion and lack wisdom or so on. Then every day with a gun, we protect the thousands of dollars on the box, lock, and still we need to run the day and night 24 hours, CC camera, there's a pond, and there still is we cannot protect, isn't it? Sometimes losing. So that means is the problem, really, really the problem. So therefore, it's important, the best army, best soldier, best police, best weapon, best protection is compassion and wisdom. That is only the hope, future world peace, good harmonies, sense of, I mentioned you a couple of times already repeated, sense family peace up to world peace is depend. We have compassion, wisdom, enough the power or not. That is. Otherwise, only external materiality looks and the moments as you see very powerful. Oh, you are monk, so he doesn't know how power of the nuclear weapons, atomic bombs, how strong you don't know you are monk. No, I know a little bit. You know how powerful the atomic bombs, the nuclear weapons. Can destroy 1 second, minute this city, but doesn't mean that is powerful. That's very harmful. Harmful, not powerful. These can harming thousands, millions, and the world peace, can harming and destroy. That is. So no possible. So therefore, we need to really is the ultimate nature weapon, and nature atomic bomb is not the external, this bomb. Is we need to compassion and love, wisdom. This is the secular ethics. We need to responsibility going to yourself, of course, but on top is your children, your partners, or your parents, your grandchildren, so whatever, your friend, or whatever you can. And then, in case somebody, if you like, follow some traditions, and then you keep your faith, your devotion is on your tradition. If you are Christianity, Catholic, or Muslim, or Buddhist, or something, whatever is, if you like, follow somebody, and then you keep your faith and devotions on your tradition. But at the same time, simultaneously, has to be respect equally for everybody. Respect equally for each traditions. Do not looking down some other traditions. Do not looking insult to other traditions. If you are traditioners, do not look down and look insult to non-traditioners. Doesn't matter, because everybody have different idea, have different attitude. It's different cultures, a different nature. The system is different. So therefore, this world is many. We have 6 billion. 7 billion, they have different system. We cannot become one, everybody is one system, no possible. Cannot be world become one religious, that is not possible. Somebody, if you thinking world become one traditions, that is ignorant. It's not possible, that is why I'm saying ignorant. Not only not possible, but someone thinking this way, then is problems coming again from traditions, from religious faithing, jealousy, again, right? Actually, each traditions, each religions, 99% over, I'm sure what I understand is the first teacher is the tradition lineages, the motivation is pure. Compassion, love, attitude, benefit to each other, that is. But problems, the followers, after a couple, 100 years, 1,000 years, and slowly followers, the mixture, this pure motivation bring into the using it by the politician way, and then make many party, many group, that's my party, that's your party, that doesn't care about your this logical or reasonable or not, your what is going is right or wrong, they doesn't look this, they doesn't like to look the truth, only say that's my said, that's my term, that's your term, this is the make problem, this is not tradition's view, So therefore, important, we need to know, we are same family. This world is one big house or big family, So we are is one same there was one parents, same parents. Like, what is the difference? Only language is the difference, right? Sometimes colors of your hairs, our hairs, and the eyeballs, little bit different colors, little bit change difference, little bit, right? But many moments generally is same. 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, mouth and tongue, teeth, everything, even the number of teeth, the Western, what do you have, number, and Eastern are the same. How many, right? There's no difference. So we also have 2 arms and 2 legs and one, same, everybody. And then you operation inside check in the same, right? 2 kidney and the heart and the lung, everything's the same. And blood, every skin, and the so on. Then what is difference? Only is, as a political way that makes something, politics is, some is good, pure, or some is impure, really. So especially our pure traditions, sometimes we bring into using in the political way. This make us problem, So therefore, it's up to your freedom. Whatever you like, you become traditional or non-traditional. You want to this tradition, that tradition, your choose. But it's a respect equally for each traditions, because we need so many difference, because many different capacities, different faculty, different karmic connection, and different level, different system, different culture, different traditions. How can we, as looking down and look and so to others, each others, and then problem, right? So therefore, it's future. It's a little bit important. We should to know now is enough. We must be wake up from such kind of ignorance. We should not falling extremes only one view. We should not falling extremes one tradition or non-tradition only. Not. That's whatever you like. You do this, but we should be to understand what is important. Better your investigations, analyticals. So, however, today is our topic is the union of wisdom and the compassion. This, I think, is agreement, object of knowledge for everybody. So that kind of object and the actions, the applying of with pure wisdom, compassion, that is secular ethics. Secular ethics means beyond of religious. Not only religious, not only is Buddhism, not only Buddha Dharma, so on, Not only traditions talk, not only non-traditions talk. We need wisdom and compassion, the pure wisdom and pure compassion. Are you agree? Most? I think you agree, right? So therefore, but of course, talking is more easy. Talk is more easy. But in fact, situation comes is hard to facing, hard to manage, not easy. So therefore, we should be thinking more, talking more, and we need to learning more, studying more, meditate more, practice more, we intention to there more, and to understand more better your wisdom mind analyticals to analysis, So therefore, that is today our topic. So anybody, if you have any questions, we little bit now going to question answers. Anybody, if you have any questions. Yes, please. Sorry?
In everyday life, at work especially, you try to show compassion, you try to be good, but then what you receive back is not the same. And it's an internal conflict, this, especially for me. I don't know for others, but you try to do the good, and then you receive a lot of bad things. So that is, for me, this is an internal conflict. I say, I'm trying to do my best, but then
problems.
They give me back not the good.
Yes,
there's always something working against you, doing against. So this, for me, is a very big problem.
Yes, so therefore I mentioned to you, because we need, under your pure of your best of the motivation, we need to add the wisdom. Because sometimes I mention you only is pure motivation and want to be benefit each others, and they're going to try, but the result is sometimes opposite. Comes as you mentioned. That means is because there was lack the wisdom, the judgment not enough. So future, what is good, what is not good. So not enough only pure motivation, but as on top I'm saying is the judgment, the valid cognitives or something analysis. If my motivation is pure, sure, I want to benefit them. But if I use these techniques, is work or not, is you should be to know by your wisdom mind. Sometimes even your motivation 100% pure, but your wisdom mind says, is 50% doesn't work, sure, will not work, sure, and then you don't do that, If your wisdom mind says, exactly now is this kind of method or this kind of attitude, what you thinking is sure you do, and this will be 80%, 90% will be done, and then you can follow. So therefore, it's not only motivation, and not only is the wisdom I mentioned you, these together. That's why today our title is a union of wisdom and compassion. That is important. If your actives become from the union of wisdom and compassion, and then I'm sure over of 80% is going well. The rest percent is hard, always, because human beings are the terrible, This, world is the problems also bringing human being, making better humans, missed it, but also world peace also only can bring better human beings, We say animals, many danger, or tiger, lions, elephant, bears, or snakes, or so. Wow, that's danger, but not that much danger. Those are tigers, lions, they are when hungry and then careful. They are hungry and then they're careful because they're jumping you, they eat, But they are everything's going well, is the full stomach and good everything, then they're lying asleep and they're not very danger, But a human being, if full stomach is more danger than the animals, full stomach and then everything, then they're thinking more, looking more around there and here what I'm showing you, then lack compassion and lack, wisdom, and then is full stomach, humans more danger than full of animal, So that is why I'm saying is the world peace can bring better human being, but the world destroy also better. Most the root is from the human being. 100% sure. Even though something we said like tornadoes, hurricanes, the earthquake, the flooding, and the collapsing, or so many of the problems, we say, oh, that is the weather changes problems, or this is the environment problems. What we should do? At the moment, true, directly is true, but indirectly, this was caused. Human mistake mind, the ignorant mind, we missed it during hundreds of years. Over and over, we digging, we destroy, we cutting, we change the river or something, the treasures, everything's like, destroy. Everybody want to become, desire, attachment to endlessly. Everybody become the rich, the high level. But we have all this world. I mentioned you before, we are one family. We have 7 billion children. But one mother only, earth. It's one. There's no two earth for us, right? So therefore, is this one mother earth cannot feed all the 7 million people is same like level of the rich. Cannot. They have no power, But is the children, 7 million children, is very desirable. Desirable. I need more, and digging to the mother, eating to the mother, and mother will die. Then 7 million children also will be die. Finally, that is stupidity. That means that is ignorant. So we need to equanimity, as much you can balance to everybody equally. From the one mother of earth, how can feed of 7 millions, that we need to measure. We need to mathematic. We need to count. To know. But of course, hard to balance everybody. Each country is same. Everywhere, ever go. Rich is always rich. Too much. Poor is too much poor. This also some according to Buddhist point of view. Not only this life, but as a karmic connections also the merits, low merits and high merits, the virtues. Or non-virtues, this also, but this other hand, the traditions talk, But in this way, and the moments also, but little bit, we need to be contentment. I mentioned you, has to be contentment, And then you will be also happy, enjoy. When you relaxed, when you was a satisfaction, oh, I'm okay. My country is beautiful. My family is beautiful. My job is okay. My salary is okay, enough for me. As I'm not hungry. I'm not thirsty. I'm fine. That means you are become rich. Because naturally you feel you are satisfaction. And if this way we can protect our Mother Earth, This way we can share all the qualities, the materiality or qualities to equally for everybody. Not belongs to the only one person or one family or one country. Because only one family or one country cannot progress endlessly, no possible. Even they try, but then problems from other neighboring, their jealousy, and they want to, so many obstacles comes to you. It's not possible. So therefore, equal is the only the way. Sense of member family between connections up to of country to country is equal, if possible. That is world peace and relaxation and sip, everything. And the environment of how can protect everything from there. So therefore, I mentioned to you, it looks like we say a temperature change problem, but it changes our ignorant. the internal emotions, very distracted. That is the problem. So anyway, yeah.
Oops. Sorry. Can you talk to us a little bit about the role of meditation, and if one can not just meditate, but also use meditation throughout one's life, like use it all the time, like be able to be very aware and take a step back at any moment? Like keep the meditative state. Is that something that you can talk to us about?
I'm sorry, I couldn't get the essence of your point or question.
Yeah, I'm talking about the role of meditation. And a friend of mine practices Theravada Buddhism,
yes.
And she does meditation throughout the day, all day long.
Oh.
So whatever she's doing, she's meditating as well. So it's like part of being able to see things more clearly.
Actually, meditation is in Tibetan is a gum. Means is literally on English has to be a familiarity or habituated. Become what is like meditation compassion, and the compassion has to be habituated, familiarity. Meditation is a wisdom, and then your wisdom under the conviction or certainty, what you born from the logic, and that become familiarity. If your meditation is a calmness or calm abiding meditations, or then it's this kind of calmness feeling or this kind of experiencing or calmness, does become habituated and become familiarity, something. But meditation can be invariably two. One is post-meditation, one is the equipoise meditative concentrations. Means sitting meditation and walking meditation, maybe we can say. Generally in tradition we say post-meditation and equipoise meditative concentration. There's two ways. But post-meditation should be to know how to go and where of going care about the post-meditation is very important. Because the equipoise meditations, we cannot do so much. Maybe every day, you daily meditation, maybe you can do hours every day. It's good, but still not so much. Because 24 hours, 1 hour, if you do meditate lots, but every day, if 1 hour, meditate lots, right? But compared to 24 hours, then not so much. Because another is 23 hours as a distracted mind, right? So therefore, I have not enough power to. So therefore, the post-meditation is a walking time, talking time, sleeping time, eating time, driving time, and then your officer, whatever, even on computer, everything, right, is with mindfulness, with alertness, intentionally should be to know which is the the right action, which is going wrong action, something. This kind of intentionally keep you this post-meditation. This can support you 24 hours. So this is very important. But the sitting meditation is important, but we cannot do so much, Only I mention you maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour a day. But it's normal, regular activities as normal. So during these moments, if you can keep on your mind, with mindfulness, and then progress, of course, mental spiritual qualities every day, weekly, monthly. And mental spiritual qualities, when they grow up, simultaneously will be decreasing of the negative emotions. The positive and negative emotion, these two emotions is contrary, totally opposite. Like temperature, heat, and cold is contrary, opposite. In this same room, at the same moments, cannot be same strong of a heat and cold. Its temperature, heat is more, and the cold is less power. And the more cold and the less the heat, It's this similarly positive emotions more strong and less strong negative emotion. Negative emotions more strong and less strong of positive emotions. So like waxing moon. So if you can meditate during these 2 ways, sitting meditation and normal post-meditation times, and then waxing moon means a lunar calendar. And the first moon, and then the 5th moon is every day is the part of the light is become more progress, and the darkness, part of darkness is less and less decreasing. And then the 5th day, lunar calendar, and the 5th day totally is full. The moon is full, of the light. It says no left any part of drownness. Similarly, is if we can go in, it's like this way, meditation, walking time and sitting time, and then it's a mental spiritual quality, compassion and wisdom is become progress. Finally, what happened is become totally heart is full, compassion and wisdom. This person is completely will be achievement state, ultimate peace and ultimate enjoyment. This person do not so much rely on the of external conditions, not unconditioning. He or her peace, he or her happiness, he or her enjoyment is unconditioning. Means not so much depend to the conditions, external situation, going good or bad, not so much depend. Wherever, whenever remaining, this person is more happy, more enjoy. Otherwise, our ordinaries normally too much we was conditioning to the depend to the external things. Oh, I'm happy means is from depend you or depend place, depend food or depend weather or something. Oh, I'm unhappy and sad. Something means depend the bad place or bad people. If too much we intention depend conditioning to other the externals. If you never know how responsibility your internal qualities conditions if missing totally, and then wherever men go or wherever men remaining, but there are problems. Because the round of the conditions, or the obstacles, the unfavorable conditions around us, thousands. Favorable conditions very rare, unfortunately, and this is a samsara. And the Sanskrit language is a samsara. Samsara, in Tibetan is a korwa, and literally cyclic existent. So this foolishly, unfortunately, this samsara is born again and again and foolishly with the ignorant, with the misconception, with misdeed actions over and over, unfortunately. So therefore, it's very rich, the unfavorable conditions everywhere. And favorable conditions very less, So therefore, if you conditioning too much, depend to the external possessions or object, and then you have less chance, happy enjoyment, more problems, obstacles. So we need to, find the inner peace, the inner qualities, and then even externals not very well, but still you have chance, so more the chance happy enjoyment and less suffering. So that's the unconditioning, person is very, it's mental qualities. That is very important. So anyone have any another questions? Anybody? Please raising your hand if anybody you have. Yes, please.
Hello. Can you mention a very basic, simple practice that one can do to increase compassion and wisdom?
Oh, that is actually, we say, motivation. One's own motivation. Motivation is as the basics of the root, future's hope, future's happiness, future's peace, future's relations, future's the coming of the harmonies. All is very much dependent to the projecting motivation. Projecting means it's the very beginning of whatever you're going, something is you say, okay, next year I will start something. Newly I'm start to some doing, so we'll be doing something. It doesn't matter what kind you will be start. But first you check your motivation. Why I want to do this? What is my purpose? What is my method? What is my main techniques? And why I want to do this? So, and then you get some answers from your heart, And then if good motivation, and try to do this continuously. If this is born from the wrong motivation, if you see, and then try to change from the wrong motivation, changes into the right motivation. Yet not is become right motivation, and then careful. Otherwise, is sooner or later some problems will be coming, will be bring back the wrong projecting motivation. So that is why in the Tibetan means like Dharmic way we say samba zana sadang lamyang samba ngana sadang lamyang tamche samba talarali pi ta samba zangla nandenjut. Just I quoted one verse from Tibetan. But anyway, that means is if your projecting motivation is as good and will be performing good ground, good path, and good result. If your projecting motivation is as beginning wrong and wronged, and then it will be performing wrong ground, wrong path, and wrong result. So therefore, motivation is very important. Everybody's motivation. And that is why, according to the Buddhist point of view, Shakyamuni Buddha, he says, even though if you cannot do benefit to other sentient beings, at least do not harming nobody. Do not harming nobody. This is your motivation. If you always, then it's going very well, your situation future. Whatever you're doing, not I'm talking only Dharma, I'm not talking only religious, but even as non-religious, if business, like, if you are just worldly, only business, you decided in your heart, okay, I want to become rich. I must be effortfully, is to go in hardships, facing to the hardships for become rich. Many different ways, as much I can, my abilities, I want to business, But one thing is wherever, whenever, doesn't matter what situation comes, but I will never harming to nobody. Even if I cannot do benefit to other beings, but I will never harming nobody. Even I get even one day, the $1 million just comes, but if harming somebody, but I will never. If this kind of motivation, if it comes to your heart, and then it's successfully, usually generally is more, it's going well, everything's. So that means wisdom is there, and pure wisdom is there, seed is there, and pure compassion is there, seed is there, including of this motivation. So this kind is, during the sitting time, you can meditate, like 10 minutes thinking in the early morning, or maybe it's once a day, week, a week and once day as the first week, or maybe it's one day, the few hours as at the beginning of the month, this month, for example, okay, today is the first day of this month of June, July, whatever. So coming the rest of 29 days, in this month, I will never, I promise, I commitment, even if I could, I must, as I can try to benefit to each others. But even though if I cannot benefit as much, but in this month, I promise I will not harming nobody, something. If you can do like this meditation, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or maybe it's like 1 hour, and as once time and each month, beginning. And then is this energy linking you, and during this month is sure is your activity is more peaceful and more harmony and more is the helpful and more peace and more comfortable for you. And the end of the month, if you recheck what you did in this for the 20 days or 28 days, or it doesn't matter, and then if your motivation was pure, and therefore the end is you feeling is also very satisfaction. Even though the activity is not very going well, but mentally you have very satisfaction, comfortable feeling. But otherwise, projecting motivation is wrong very beginning, and the main terms are harming to many terrible things, harm, and the end even you become rich, but not that much satisfaction feeling. As unsatisfaction feeling, but in fact, naturally in fact of the materiality is you are very high, become rich. The end with very terrible fighting, quarreling, or jealousy, so many negativities, and finally you become rich. But the end, your motivation, because beginning motivation wrong, main terms action wrong. So therefore, the end, the result, mental qualities, your feeling is very sad, sadness feeling, unsatisfaction feeling, even become rich. So therefore, good motivation, good actions, even the result is not that much rich, materially, external materiality not really rich, but mentally you feel comfortable and relaxation, restness. That's 100% sure. So therefore, important to be know, this all is both born from wisdom and compassion. So this is just daily meditation or practice or training mantra. We can say many different names, but point is that is how to attitude benefit you and to benefit to others. How going we responsibility to each others. That's undeceptive motivation. So anyone have any? There's one behind, very behind there.
Thank you, Rinpoche, for coming. I would like to ask if you can give your advice on how to work with emotional attachment, please.
The emotion, actually, everybody usually is unnatural. We can say almost amount is emotionally we're doing something. Emotion is just the secondary mind from the mental composition factors, performing the emotions. Emotion is not nature of our mind. It's a secondary mind. That's not primary mind. Without emotion, still can with mind. But without mind, cannot be existent emotion. So therefore, emotion is the secondary something, the percept aspect, from the mind, the root. Say it's two difference, or maybe three different kind of aspect emotions. We could divide into three different kind of aspect emotions. But generally, of course, hundreds, thousands of different kind of various different kind of aspect emotions, day and night, 24 hours. But these various different kind of the emotions, and briefly, we can divide into three. One is a positive emotion. One is a negative emotion. One is a neutral equanimity emotion. So, negative emotion, that is, we use sometimes afflictive emotion, delusion emotion of, we can say, negative, disturbing emotion. We said, because this disturbed for you. And these emotions, these kind of emotions disturb toward your people, the other peoples, other beings, directly or indirectly disturbing. That we say negative emotion. Negative emotion. But who decided, for example, desire, anger, ignorance, jealousy, hatred, harmful thought, harming mind, pride, arrogance, selfishness, pride. So this kind of all is, we say, negative emotion. But the questions, who fixable, who decided, who made, who created this, from whom created this is a negative? It's nobody. That not from Buddhism, not from non-Buddhism, that not from religious, not from non-religious, that's not from even, I think, maybe creator of the universe. But by nature itself as negative, means it's harming. As when you experience, like fire nature, the fire, what is the definition, what is the characters of fire? Heat and burn. Burning, burn. Or burning and heating. That is the characters of fire. That is the nature of fire. Fire nature is burning and heating. Heating. That's fire nature. Then is if you, I'm explaining, I'm saying, if you ask me, what is the nature of fire? I'm saying heating and burning. And then you ask me, who makes this? Who created fire nature is heating and burning? And then my answer is no, that's not created from religious, non-religious, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, gods, not. But nature by itself, the materiality, the element, nature by itself, apparent definition is burning and heating. Similarly, is the negative emotion by itself is naturally apparent is harming, is something is negative, is disturbing your heart and disturbing others. That is why we say such is a negative emotion. That's one. And then what is the positive emotion? Positive emotion is, we mentioned today also, one part is this subject is one part of positive emotion. Pure wisdom, pure compassion, pure loving kindness, empathy, sympathy mind, tolerance, forgiveness, patience, effort, diligent. So kind of all these kind of the motivation is, if it's a positive emotion. Relaxation mind, restness mind, as a comfortable mind, peaceful mind. This all is positive emotion. Again, the question is who decided, who created bad this? And the answer is the same, nobody's. Bad nobody's. But its nature is as a raising peace, a raising compassion, a raising love, a raising kindness, a nature by itself a raising. There's no exceptions by Western, Eastern. There's no, like compassion, love is always, love always compassion. There's no dependent to the country, not dependent to the of man and woman, not dependent to the of the, as age or so on, traditions, not. But itself nature is, so that is a positive emotion. And then, what is equanimity? Equanimity means is not like attachment, but not of like the undesirable or something is, the aversion mind or something. But equanimity is feeling naturally, is your emotion is very naturally, is not especially very compassion, not especially very angry, but it's neutral equanimity. That's also natural feeling, natural emotion, the equanimity emotion. So this kind of all is with emotion. But at the moment, if we choose these emotions, then we need to choose the positive emotion. We need as much we can try avoiding the negative emotions, because negative emotion directly or indirectly harming yourself and harming to others. But the positive emotion directly or indirectly will be bring happy, enjoyment, peaceful for you or for others. Therefore, we need to choose. But the question is, it is possible, can change, can turn from negative emotion into positive? Very, very possible. The reason, because the negative emotion is not the nature of our mind. Negative emotion is apparent, is just circumstantially apparent, like the temperature of a stormy, It's upset like weather, temperature, and thunderbolt, and as the healing or something is stormy, or sun, as a windy something. But that is not nature of the sky. That's not nature of the space, totally. What is the nature of the sky? It's pure, clean, clear, peace. That is the nature of the space. So that's why temperature can change, right? There's early morning very stormy, and then it's evening is very shining. That means it's impermanence. That means it's changeable object. That means this temperature is just temperament, and the moments apparent, not that's the nature of the space. Similarly, as mentioned to you, we are born as naturally, it's very peace. Very peace. There's no, such negative emotion. These negative emotions, after we grow up and follow different situations, many things, thinking, looking, talking, and then comes many different distracted or mind, obscured. Circumstantially appears there. So therefore, it's sooner or later we become separate. Maybe that is today I also mentioned we make cleanliness of mind. Not enough only cleanliness physically. Physically, everybody going very well, good, but should keep continuously. But now on top, you should be try to know how bath your mental body, how shower your mental body, how make sweeping your mental body, how make clean your mental body, how to feed your mental body, how going to check up your mental healthy. These you need to add on top of your physical healthy or the hygiene of physical. And then I mentioned you could become balanced both physically and verbally, and long life, healthy life, good life, peaceful, harmonious comes. So anyway, this all is very much depend to the emotion. So emotions can't like this, emotionally. And yeah.
Thank you for your talk. I just wanted to ask a question in relation to being present. And I think being your mental and your emotional, compassion, and how being present every day, how you can protect yourself in that presence. Because I hear people talk about emotions or either being compassionate, and life is not perfect.
Yes.
And sometimes when you clear yourself, as you say, when you clear your mind, you clear your body, and you bring yourself into that state of being present, we are living in a world that is overall disconnected. So maybe, I think for myself anyway, what I rely on most times are my gut instinct, my instinct from my gut, because that for me tells me the truth more than anything that's external. And how do you balance all of these things yet protect yourself?
So actually, I mentioned you already, our normal worldlies or protections, I mentioned you, army, soldier, police, weapon, and so many. That is our normal thinking, that's our refuge, or protection, or protector, or something. I already earlier today mentioned to you the best protection, best protector, best weapon, the best army, best police, who is compassion and wisdom. That I mentioned to you. If you go in responsibility very well, compassion and wisdom, and then you will be free from the external obstacles. But this complicated, because that's why you asked me already, comes to me. So therefore, doesn't mean is somebody coming to kill you, and you just compassion and love with this and give them your life. It's on the, on the, what is the knife or the shooting or something. Not that is the case, You should be protect yourself, but not with angry, not with of harming thought, but by the wisdom mind, you should be to know how escape, how protect yourself by the wisdom mind, and how to protections by the compassion, and then you can free from such of kind, the problems. Otherwise, if they're shooting you, if you say, I also, because my protection, I'm shooting them, that means is you beating them, they're beating you. If you cheating them, they're cheating you. You abusing them, they're abusing you, right? So as you angry them, they're angry you. If you jealous, they're jealous you. You then fighting each other, quarreling each other, shooting each other, beating each other. Maybe probably if you protect yourself to kill them, but as the one animal is killed and next time is 2 animals more. If in case even you can control these 2 animals killed, but as maybe more 4 enemies next day comes. This is why the examples like World War. First World War and Second World War is beginning is few group people, and then coming is fighting, quarreling, and then is neighboring, and then is wars comes. That means multiply. That's not the aim. The final aim is this beginning also, their thinking is, become one, everybody, control and disappear enemies. Without any enemies, all is become one subject, like their thinking. But this big mistake was, because finally it couldn't, right? As it couldn't, this happened. Only finally millions of people killed and dead, and famines. And that's the problem, destroyed. Still, some as a country yet not repaired this story of the towns, everything still today, yet not during this past 40, 50 years, not enough still repaired completely, was destroyed, This is the problem. But the very beginnings, the aim is not the point. They want to control everything, become one subject or one king-like or one controlling, but it's a big mistake. So similarly, so this is because they were beginning their thinking, I need to protection, but this is the mistake protection. So there's problem. So, but Hillary, finally, other people couldn't shoot him, but himself shoot. Is it? So by himself, something killed by himself. So something like this finally has happened. So there's no protection. Because lack wisdom and lack compassion, then finally, directly or indirectly, problems comes. So it's many examples. So therefore, it's the best protections, wisdom and compassion. But doesn't mean it's only waiting whatever comes on you. But you can also, sure, when you're hungry very much, and then you say, I'm just only wisdom, compassion, meditation. I don't care about food and drink. Not that is the case, You should be responsibility. What is a good food? What is a good drink for your hungry and thirsty? But still is meant is with compassion, with wisdom, do not harming nobody, even cannot, benefit. That is the point. So harming directly looks like harming somebody, but indirectly that will be harming yourself or will be harming your family and your country, your people. indirectly, I'm saying. Similarly, it directly going to benefit somebody, but that means is through the indirectly this will be benefit yourself. So therefore, according to Buddhist Shakyamuni Buddha, he understands is his own behavior of benefit, enjoyment, happiness is born from benefit, motivation, want to benefit to others. His own problems, sufferings, and everything is born mainly, his main motivation is self-cherishing. This he understands, So therefore, if you want to responsibility to go and where yourself become happy, enjoyment, or your family, your member, your country, and then we need responsibility to other around people, and then it's a hope, peace is coming. That means is one's own happiness depend to the others. One's own problems also depend to the others' problems. In this logic, we need to make equally, everything's try. But still, it's used as true, and the world is terrible. It's not easy. But if you control your negative emotions, then you have no problem. Even physically, sometimes you looks like happened a problem, but mentally, still you can rest. Otherwise, if you say, only I want to make smooth the other place, the round of conditions, if you never start to condition by your heart, never change, and then very hard. That's more hard, more difficult. Like example, this is a very good example. So I'm sure maybe you heard already from Indian scholar qualified from Nalanda, suggests the master Pantata is Aryan Dewa. It's the 100 years before already gone. But he said, if you want to protection your feet from of the rock place or the torrents, as a hurt, injured, your feet, this everybody worry because we have self-cherishing. We need to responsibility to check, go and care your feet, So therefore, if you're thinking, there is many torrents or there is many the shape of stones, I need to go everywhere, so I must be covered. All this, places better of a smooth leader. By covering better of a smooth leader to everywhere, wherever I want to go, because it's a danger, the road. If you're thinking, because you're thinking your feet is injured, better conditioning, better of the area, round of the torrent, torrent place. But this is almost not good idea, because almost not possible, because not enough you found the leader to cover everywhere. So therefore, what should do best, he says, make good boots, shoes, leather shoes. Strong and good qualities, leather shoes, you don't need a big leather, only one square, and you make two, And then wearing these boots and go everywhere. It's smooth. Protection your feet. Make sense? So that is the example. If you can, start responsibility to as inner peace, wisdom, compassion, then you have less obstacles wherever go. This is a good idea. First, you thinking is to make smooth a round of conditions. You doesn't care. Your heart is, our heart, one's own heart is of a negative emotion, full, wildly. And then is wherever go, there are obstacles. So you see many people like they're moving place to place. I don't like this place because my neighbor, and then I go to new place to found. And then they go, and then 1 week later, again coming complaints, this also not nice, no noisy music, so on. Then I go to, and sometimes even they change country to country, moving. Round, but the end, they never found the peace place. That means it's similar like they try to cover the world as a leather, but not possible. So therefore, cover one's own heart, better compassion, love. Then we have less obstacles. Even terrible this world, but still you have more chance. By yourself is comfortable, more relaxation. That is very logical, very reasonable. So therefore, we try to balance both external conditions and internal conditions. That's why I'm talking more, because the 90% is among this world, the human beings, they doesn't care of inner conditions, the mental qualities. Only thinking is a hope, wish, goodness comes from external materiality. They only believe the problems, everything also depends to the external materiality. but that's not 100%. 50% is maybe depend to the external conditions, but another 50% is conditioning mentally. That is 100%, I'm sure. But traditional way I'm saying is more than, 80% is conditioning, the problem and goodness is from heart. The rest 20% is depend to the external materiality. But it's like common way I'm saying 50-50. Okay, the conditioning to the goodness or badness, both is depend to the external conditions, internal conditions. But we are following extremes, conditioning only external materiality, over 90% or 99%. That is wrong. So therefore, is we have less chance, the happy and the hope, the harmonies. Oh, that's the last one today. Questions. Sorry, yeah. Then is there? But
you said emotions come from nature or from nurture. Did I understand well? Nature or nurturing? Emotions. You said emotions come.
Emotion is not the nature of our mind. I'm saying not negation. Emotion is not the nature of our mind.
Emotions are nurtured. Okay, not nature of our mind. Okay, no, because I work with children and emotions. It's difficult for them to deal with emotions. It's very difficult to teach them dealing with emotions. That's why I thought you said emotions come from nature.
Oh, no. If nature, then don't try change, because it's stupid, not possible. If nature,
yes.
Nature cannot change. Fire nature is burning, heating, and then somebody want to change the nature of fire, cold, not possible. Right? Therefore, better leave it, so no touch. That's the way only. If you touch, then burn for you always. Fire nature cannot change.
Okay.
So therefore, if nature is emotion, negative emotion is nature or mind, then is there no possibilities. Then leave it. Better is don't thinking about this, Mm-hmm. So, but it's not. That's not the case. Okay. So therefore, I'm saying we have hope. We can change.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Sorry. Now the time is exhaustion. So I'm going to dedication prayers. You just relaxed in the last moment. I'm going to again, it's a Tibetan monk song. The last moment, dedication song, prayers. You just relaxed on your comfortable feeling and your meditation or your peace or restness on your nature way. Okay, just a moment's last. Sonam Thamche Sipanye Thomne Nipi Dharna Panshe Shirga Nanche Parlo Trubai Sebi on sole on droa droa shon deda dusa under wa gerza chenye samba kun Majur semche thamche la sanje thobe gyurmo anjampar pao chetar Khenpo no kondo Sambo Dea Tepshen Deda Kunji Jesus Dalo Gewa Deda Tamche Arabde Tusa Shambi Anjarwa Tamche Anji Ngoa Kongla Chode Ngambandi
Dāgī gēvē tsāvā āndī gōyāñcā sāmbō shōshē rabdāṅ ōvāñjū kūnsāṅ dōrjē Yan chanche manche ani chinche save lama yanche ani drove tonde monlo kamda Dena Dhamche Dajen Drapasho Shewa Kundu Ayanda Lama Drame Chunyi Perla Alom Sada Lamji Ayonde Rabzo Dorje Changa Kompa Yanyirtho Jo